Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. Today we will make notebook cover. I bought this one from Dollar Tree. The dimensions are 5 inches by 7. The dimensions are 5 inches by 7 and the thickness it's approximately 1/4 of an inch. We will use some sticky notes, also Dollar Tree. I will use little flags, Dollar Tree. We will use chipboard. So we will use one piece 8.5 by 6 3/8, and we will use two pieces 8.5 by 6.5. We will use one piece 8.5 by 7/8, and we will use one piece 8.5 by 1 inch. I will also use for this project this collection, paper collection, Magical Thinking. So I will choose paper from this. We will use also some cardstock. I have black one, 12 by 12. And we will use some chain. This is something that I just have in my stash, so this is what I will use. Okay, so we're gonna pre-cut some cardstock. And we will trim the cardstock to 10.5 inches. And we will trim two pieces. So the leftover, just put it on the side, we will use it. So the height of the cardstock will be 10.5, and we need to glue both these pieces together. So we're gonna put light strip of glue. Of course, this is way too much. And we will glue both pieces together. As I'm gluing them, I'm trying to check the bottom of the piece to make sure that it's glued straight or close enough to being straight. And now we will position our chipboard. So the way we will position it, it will be the first panel 8.5 by 6.5, then 1 inch, 8.5 by 6.5, then 8.5 by 7/8, and 8.5 by 6 3/8. So this is how we're going to position this, and this is how we're going to glue it. So try to position kind of on the middle between the bottom and the top. So the distance on the top of the cardstock should be approximately 1 inch, and the same thing on the bottom. Now, the only other thing I have to mention to you, maybe you have a cardstock that is 8.5 by 11. And if this is the cardstock you want to use, you need to make sure that your joints will be somewhere on the middle or away from the joints in between the chipboard. So you really shouldn't have any joint anywhere from here to here. So it's always better to have kind of on the middle or approximately 1.5 inches, 2 inches kind of on the chipboard. This is what I prefer and this is what I would suggest, but this is totally up to you. So now we will glue all these pieces. Just like that. And I'm trying to leave the space right here still approximately 1 inch. It could be a little bit less, but 1 inch would be perfect. So I am gonna glue all these pieces just like that, leaving the space in between approximately 1/8 of an inch in between the chipboard. So this space, and those two, they are going to be approximately 1/8 of an inch apart. So let me pre-glue this and I will be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I have everything glued. So now we will score all around. On all 4 sides. And now I will fold this. Just like that. And I will run the spatula against the chipboard all around, just so I could get those nice crisp corners or edges, just like that. So now we will miter the corners. So I'm gonna make it small angle, but I'm leaving a little bit of that cardstock in here, just to make sure that I'm gonna be able to wrap this chipboard. So I don't want to see any chipboard by these corners. Okay. So I will position it the way it should be. 8.5 by 6.5 will be on your left hand side. So now we will glue this. And let's make sure that all of it really sticks. So we need to spread this glue. All right. If any of these corners look a little bit too sharp for you, you can just round them off a little bit with the spatula, just so they are not that pointy. Okay. And now again, my 8.5 by 6.5 is on the right side. I will put it back to the left. Now I am gonna push this cardstock just a little bit right here to kind of help me fold this over, just like that. All right. So now we have our cover. So the right hand side panel is just that little bit narrower than this front, and I have done this on purpose. So now with the leftover cardstock that we have, we will cover the space right in between, right? We will cover this. So to do that, we need to trim those pieces, and we will need additional two on this side. So the width, I would suggest to have no less than approximately 1.5 inch strips. So I'm gonna keep these leftovers as they are, and I will cut them down to 8 inches. So I do have some cardstock left over from other project, and this one is, I need to pre-cut to 8 inches, and I need two pieces at 1.5 inches. So that's gonna be 1 and 2. Okay, so now those pieces we will position in here to cover those spaces. And when I position this, I'm trying to put it on the middle between the top and the bottom, and just like that, leaving just a little bit space of that chipboard. So we will glue it just like that. Okay, just like that. So now we will find where that space is in between our chipboard, and we will score it. Just like this, work it, don't force it. because you don't want to crack this side. So just like that. And now we're gonna do the next one. Okay, so when I'm bending this, I'm almost working a little bit. You don't want to push it at once too hard because you might crack the paper. So now we're gonna do this side. Okay, and this one. Okay, just like this. I'm gonna position the proper way, 8.5 by 6.5 on the left hand side. So this side closes first, and then this side. And this is what we have. So you see, this panel is just a little bit 1/8 of an inch shorter, and that's because we wanted to nest it really nicely, just like that. So now we will decorate the outside of this. And now we will trim our panels. So I think I want it this way with the butterflies kind of on the flowers. So we will pre-cut to 6.25. One more piece, 6.25. And the third piece is gonna be 6.1/8. So now we will cut this down, we will trim it to 8.25. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now let's check which one is the shorter one. So this is the shorter one, so it will go on the right hand side, and those two are the same. So now when you look at your cover, we need to apply 6.25 paper right here, 6.25 width right here, and this one is the shortest one. So I want to make sure that I will position this correctly. So I'm going to apply this one first on the outside, just like that. And I don't want this upside down. I think I positioned this way. Okay, so now when I turn this around, see, this was the narrower side. So now I can apply onto the other two. And if it's difficult for you to see where is that bend right here, you can just run spatula right in between, just a little bit to create that indentation. So it's just easier to see where you're gonna apply the other sheets. So let me apply this one. And you will have approximately 1/8 of an inch border all around. Just like that. And this panel. Okay. So now this is the 8.5 by 6.5 on the left hand side, and this is how this will be closed. So for the front, I do want to cover some of this, and I will be using also black cardstock. So I will take another sheet and I will cut 4 strips . I'm gonna cut 4 1-inch strips. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will also use this sheet, which I will cut down to 4 inches. And I will cut down to 6. So again, the left hand side will be the front, 8.5 by 6.5. So I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna close this one. And now I have this closure right here on the top. So I'm gonna put that closure from the top away from me. Okay? So this will be the bottom, this will be the top. And the piece that I just cut, I will position approximately on the middle, just like that, in here. And I will glue this. So I will place the glue only on 3 sides. Just like that. And I will try to position this on the middle. just like this. So let me open this so I can actually make sure that this adheres. Okay, just like that. I did this because I want this to become little pocket on the front, so you can actually put something in there. So now those strips we will place just like that, right on the top of this joint on both sides, right here. So if this paper measures 6¼ that's how we want to cut those 4 strips. We will cut them down to 6¼ All right, so now I will open this up just so it's easier for me to work with this. And you can see when I place this knife in here, or this tool, the packet is sticking out a little bit. And I like that because you do want to see that there is a packet in here and you can place something there. So now these pieces we will position just like that. And I want to make sure that the bottom is covered. I'm not too concerned with the top. So we will position 2 pieces just like that, leaving approximately the same distance on both sides in here. So I want it a little bit closer together, so I'm going to do something like this. But I'm not going to glue this yet. So let me put this to the side. So I do have white ribbon. So what I'm going to do, the way I want to position the strips, I am going to just lower them a little bit because I do want to mark the space where I need to apply this ribbon. So you can see in here, that's where I'm going to be placing the ribbon. Now to place the ribbon, I will use additional reinforcement, which is the double-sided tape. And it's right here. So I will cut a small piece and apply it right here, lower than this edge, just a little bit. You don't want this tape to stick out. And I'm going to apply it here. And I will apply one right here, just like that. So let me remove the backing from this tape. Okay, and I don't want to lose the positioning of it. So I am going to just put it just like that in here. So now I take the ribbon and I will cut approximately 5 inches. And for this project, we will need 4 pieces of ribbon. about 5 inches long. So now, this might be actually a little bit too long because we want a little bit, approximately 1/2 inch to stick out, and the rest of it we will glue into this tape, just like that. So now I can remove this, and that's what we have. So we will do the same thing with the other one. So I'm not positioning this ribbon one on top of the other. I am overlapping almost halfway, just like that. And I will apply it here, leaving approximately 1/2 inch, just like that. So now I will use additional pieces of double-sided tape, and I will put it on the top just to reinforce this ribbon. So I don't know if you have to do this or not. I prefer to be safe than sorry. So this is the reason why I'm doing this. And you know, since we are trying to make this beautiful piece, I just don't want to take a chance that it's not going to hold well. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. I will remove the backing. Okay, come on, work with me. Yes, this knife is a little bit too sharp and is breaking this. Okay. So now I will apply the glue to those pieces. Right here. And I will glue them on the top, but I will start from the bottom. And I do want to make sure that I glue on both sides of that ribbon. Just like that. And I will do the same thing to this side. Too much glue. Okay. So I will position this on the bottom, and just like that, and we will glue it. Just like this. So this became our front. This is how this will look like. Okay, so we got this part done, and now we will work on the back. So for the back, we will use also 2 pieces. We will position it like that, and approximately parallel to the ones we have on the front. So we will position just like that. So let's apply the glue. I will check. So approximately, it doesn't have to be exactly, but approximately the same way as we have it on the front. And this is more for decoration than anything else. And actually, we also need to put the ribbon. I forgot to put the ribbon in here, but that's okay. So approximately 1/2 inch, and I'm just gonna put this one right on the top. Just like that. And we need to put double-sided tape in addition to the glue. It's just, it will hold better. So let me pull the double-sided tape. Let me remove the backing. And I will apply the glue. Okay. All right. So now I have to cut another strip of this. You don't have to if you apply the ribbon first. But since I forgot originally, then I need to cut another strip. And that was only 1 inch. Okay. And I think that was 6 1/8. Let me see. No, this is actually too short. See, I should have measured. So 1 inch. And let me measure it this time. So this is 6 1/4. Okay. And now I am gonna apply double-sided tape, and I'm gonna put parallel to this one, just like this. So hold it from underneath, just so you wouldn't bend this piece. We will remove the backing. Now we're gonna do this, and it will stick out approximately 1/2 inch. So now I will put double-sided tape on the top also, just so it's holding better. Just right here. We will remove the backing, and we will glue this strip on the top. Okay. Let's make sure this adheres. All right. So this is what we have so far. Now this I will decorate. And it really doesn't have to be anything fancy, so I'm just gonna leave this little trim and put some of this. And I will mark where to cut this. I'm gonna cut it right here. So you can decorate however you want. It's totally up to you. Now what I wanna do, I'm gonna make this only approximately 2 inches. And now I will try to make it almost like a cover of the envelope. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut little angle. And I will try to do this on the middle, right here. So I'm gonna just cut it this way. And this way. So now I do want to round this up a little bit. I don't want this square look. Okay, just like that, and I will apply this right here. And honestly, I don't like it. I'm gonna put something else in here. So we're gonna leave this for later. So now when we open this, again, the 6.5 is on this side, and we will decorate the inside of this pen of our notebook. So for that, I will use this paper. And we will cut this too. 6.25, just the way we did it on the front. 6.25, 6.25. And the third one will be 6 1/8. And now the other way, all 3 pieces will be 8.25. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now from this longer leftover piece, we're gonna cut 8.25. And we would cut 2 strips 3/4 of an inch, 3/4. So 1 3/4 of an inch, that's 2. That's gonna be for the spine. While I have this paper out, or this cutter out, I will take these leftover pieces that I have, and I will cut them down to 8.25. And now I will cut only 1/2 inch strips, 2 of them. Actually, let me cut 2 more. So it's going to be total of 4 strips, 1/2 inch. And those 2 we're going to put on the side. I will take this one again and I will cut down to 8 1/4, and we need 2 strips, 3/4 of an inch. So let me just trim this, and it will be 3/4. Put it to the side, and another 3/4, and put it to the side. So now for the inside, this is what we're gonna do. Those 2 pieces will go on a spine to cover the spine. Those 2 10 pieces will go right on the top. Just like that. And now those will go right here. So let's glue this the way you see it right now, and I'm gonna do this off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so as you can see, I glued all of those pieces. I will turn it around, and the pieces that we placed on the side, we will glue it just like that underneath the ribbon, like this, and then those strips right on the top. Just like that. So let me glue those pieces the way I just showed you, the way they are positioned, and I will be right back. Okay, so I glue those pieces together, and this is how it looks. I think that this border, it just gives a little bit of a dimension. So now when we close this, we got those 4 ears in here, and this is the front. So for the front, since we have butterflies in here, I do have some cutouts, butterfly cutouts, which I think I will place it right here. So just glue this not all the way, maybe just like that, just to give that different dimension. And I will place this right on the top. So again, you can decorate however you like this front. You know, I received from one of you an email actually, where one of you ladies made the project with beautiful little bow on the front. So little bow in here, I think it would look beautiful. So if you want to give this as a gift, I think this packet is really nice because you can put little card, birthday card, any type of card. You can always put something in here. So this will be the front. This is the inside. So now we will work with the notebook. So I want to position the notebook right here. Yes, we're gonna position right here just like that on the middle, but we will make little sleeve, so this will be removable one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use leftover sheet that I have, but I think this one, it's just too wide. So I'm gonna cut this down to about 3 inches. And now we're gonna place this right on the inside with the wrong side up. If you don't have double-sided paper, we're gonna put it just like that. We will fold over one side. Now I like to remove it just a tiny bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch, and fold over this side. When you do that, you are giving additional little room for that packet. You can see it, it's moving from side to side. So it's not going to be that difficult for you to remove the notepad or put it back in if you need to put some type of replacement. So what we're going to do, we will apply glue right here, and don't go too close to the edge, because when the glue is going to spread, you don't want to glue your notebook. So now, when I turn this around, and pay attention where the opening is, we're going to position this right on the middle, just like that. So now let's make sure that this adheres, just like that. And now you can see that it's very, very easy for you to place your notebook right here. And this is not going anywhere. So now, I mentioned to you that we will use our sticky notes. So I will take 2 of them out, and I will position them right here, or maybe closer this way, right here. I will take one of those little flags and I'm not sure which color I want to use. I think the green one looks nice in here, but that will depend how we're gonna decorate the notepad. So I think I will use this paper to decorate the notepad. So now I think that this pink would look a lot better, just like this. So the notepads, I am gonna glue it, but if you want, you can actually create them removable or, you know, replaceable, but that's totally up to you. I am just gonna glue them just like this. And then this I'm gonna place right on the middle, right in between these, just like that. So now we will decorate the notepad or notebook. So let me put this to the side. For the notebook, and that should cover the whole thing, but for the notebook, we need to cut 7 inches. I'm gonna cut 7¼ because I need little playroom, and because I want this to be on the front, I'm gonna cut it sideways. So 7¼ it could be a little bit more. Don't do it much less. And now this could cover the entire piece, but you see when you open this, you can see that there is a fold right here. The fold is approximately 1/4 inch. This is 1/4 inch and this is 1/4 inch. So we are talking about 3/4 inch. So what I'm gonna do, I will use different color, the same one that we are using on the inside. This is the leftover. And I will cut strip 3/4 inch, but I need to trim this. So now 3/4 inch. Let me make sure that this is positioned straight. And I'm gonna cut this also to about 7¼ because I can always trim it, but I can't add anything to it. So now this piece we will glue right here to where that score is. So what you can do is actually apply the glue, position it like that. So when I'm applying the glue, I'm going to apply it only onto that space right before the score. I applied too much glue. And now when I position this, I'm trying to match this right with this score right here. So now let me smooth this out. Okay. Now I will run the score right here. So I will score it because I need to fold this over. When you fold this over, wait a minute or so until this glue really grabs it before you fold it. So now I will apply glue, and maybe before I do that, let me trim right here. I'm gonna trim it right across. So now the paper is nice and even in here, and it's not even yet. It will be even now. Okay. So now I'm applying glue right here. I will fold this over. Let me take the spatula and make sure that this is all glued. And now I will fold it over this way. Just like that. Okay. Now, if this is uneven, take the knife and just trim it. Just like that. So now we did cover the spine. And what I want to do, I want to place these flowers right here on the front. So now from the end of this piece to the end of the notepad, I have 4 3/4. So I will cut this front to 4 3/4, but I'm gonna cut it just a little bit more. And I think this just slipped, so let me trim it. And I cut this a little bit bigger because when we position in here, we really don't want to see anything from underneath. So you want to make sure that this whole notepad cover is actually hidden underneath. Okay, so now when I bat this together, you have to check. I don't want to cut too much of this off, or maybe I could. So maybe I glue it just the way it is right now, and then we will trim all around. But you don't want to trim all 3 sides, so if you could match up at least one side, that will help you. So you're gonna have less work to cut or trim off the sides. So I am gonna apply the glue all around, just like this. And I will position this paper, and I'm gonna try to align at least the top nice and even, so I don't have to trim it. Just like this. And now we could trim the excess of the paper. Okay. And now on this side. All right. And we have beautiful cover. Now the back, you could cover it if you want, but because it's a solid color, I am just gonna leave it the way it is. So here is our notepad. So this panel, we will really make it very, very simple, because when we close both of these, and this one is gonna go on the top, you really don't want to have too much bulk in here, because you might have a problem closing this. So for this side, I still want to match everything up and coordinate. So what I am going to do, I am going to apply just a simple black strip with something on the middle. So let's measure this whole piece, and that measures about 8 1/4. It's a little bit less, but I'm gonna cut the piece 8 1/4. So the height will be 8 1/4. And I want this strip to be just simply black strip. And I am gonna cut this to 1.5 inches. And we will apply it just like that from the top to the bottom. And we will try to apply it on the middle of this page from side to side. And again, you don't want to apply too much glue. And mine somehow it's spilling just a little bit more than I would like. So approximately on the middle, just like that. And I'm trying to cover this paper underneath. So let's squish it to make sure it adheres. Okay. And if you want, you can leave it just as simple as this is. Or it could be as simple as putting some type of decoration, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the leftover piece and I will cut it. The strip is 1.5 inches, so I will cut this strip into 2 inches, just so it's a little bit bigger than the strip. And now I will just trim off this side because it's not really nicely cut. And I will apply this just like that. So this is more for decoration than anything, but basically we just created a little pocket in here so we can put something, some note or something right underneath. So this, I will apply the glue, and now I'm applying only about 1 inch width on the middle, because again, I don't want to glue this into this back page. So here it is. It's just some little decoration for whatever you want to put there. And I have some of these cut out, so maybe you want to put some kind of note or whatever you want underneath. I got different cutouts, so maybe this one, it doesn't matter. So as you can see, we got little packet. So now the only thing in here we are missing is pen or pencil holder. So we will make something, I think it's going to be interesting, but something just a tiny bit different. And yet very similar to whatever we have done it in the previous videos. So for that, I still want to keep coordinated theme right here. So when you open this up, everything is going to match beautifully. So what I'm going to do, I will take leftover cardstock and I will cut strip approximately I'm going to make it 2.5 inches long. And this one we will score. So there are different ways of doing this, but I think the way I'm going to show you, it's going to be the easiest way to do it. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So right before the 2.5 inch score, I am just gonna cut. Now, I don't really want to use this, so I'm gonna cut this off just straight down. And we're gonna score again. We're gonna score at 1/2, 1 inch, 1.5, and 2, and 2.5. I'm gonna turn this around and I'm gonna score again. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So now, wherever you have the last score, we will cut this off right before the score. So you want this panel to be a little bit shorter. And we're gonna do the same thing in here. So what you have 3 pieces. So I'm gonna fold this over and we will make little pencil holder. Just like that. So we will make 3 of them. So I'm gonna just do this, apply the glue. Make sure you glue it straight and we squish it from the inside to make sure that this actually adheres, or you can fold it and do it this way, it doesn't matter. So now we have 1. This is going to be the second one. I'm going to fold this straight, make sure that it adheres. And a third one. Okay. Adhered, and this is not really straight. I'm going to just trim this off a little bit. All right. So we have 3 of them. Now, what we could do is place 3 of them next to each other, just like that. And that would be perfectly fine, if that's what you like. But I am going to do something a little bit different. So I am going to take another strip, and it has to be just a tiny bit longer than this. This is 2.5. And I want maybe something with decoration to match this. Okay. So I am gonna cut the strip that is a little bit longer than 2.5. And again, it's totally up to you how long you want the strip to be. And now what we're gonna do, we will glue these 3 pieces right here. So we need to make sure that we have enough room to glue all 3 of them. And as you can see, we got plenty. Now for the side, you need approximately 1 inch just like that, 1 inch space. Then we're gonna position 3 of these and another inch. So I'm gonna cut this somewhere right here. So now this piece that we just cut with the design paper, it's 3.5 inches long. So now I will position this on a board. I will find the double side, which is going to be glued. And I'm going to apply the glue right here. And I want to position on the middle. So you got a little bit of the paper from underneath sticking out on both sides. So let's glue this. Now I'm going to take the second piece and I'm going to glue it next to this one. See, I almost wanted to touch each other. Just like that. So when you stand them up, this is what you are making. So now I fold them back and I'm going to glue the third one. Again, next to it. So you still want a little bit of that paper from underneath to stick out. So now what we're going to do, we're going to glue after the first score from this side, we're going to apply the glue. Right here. Fold this over and let's glue it. So now those pieces are glued together and this is how this looks. So now we're going to do the same thing. After the first score from this side, we're going to apply the glue and we're going to glue it this way. So what you have right now is space for 3 pens, 3 pencils, whatever you like. So now I will make it score right here. And I will make it score on this side. And I will fold this over just like that. I will turn this around and fold it over just like that. And this is what you got right now. So the only other thing we need is additional score on this side and this side. And the score needs to be 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on this side. When we fold this over on both sides, just like that, we're gonna glue this, just like this. So this side, we will glue. If you look at the black piece, you got beginning, first score, and this is where the joint is. So we're gonna apply the glue right here. And this is before the first score and after the first score. We fold over and we glue it. And that's what you have right now. We do the same thing on the opposite side. We're going to apply to the first panel and second panel. And we're going to glue this. Just like that. So now when you open that, you got 3 pen or pencil holders. And we will position them in here. Okay, so I want to place these 3 pens right here. So what I'm checking is actually the distance. I want to make sure that the pens are not too high up. So approximately in here, I can glue. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn this around and I'm gonna apply the glue right on the entire back, just like that. I will position this right here. And now I can make it flat just so it's easy for me to kind of squish it and distribute all that glue underneath all around. So when I strain this out, you can see I have a packet for 3 pens or pencils, or maybe marker you want. Whatever you want, you can place it in here. So I like these colors, so I'm placing them right here, just like that. And this is almost finished project. So as I mentioned to you, you have little packet in here. Now this notebook, when you try to close this and you turn it to the side, it stays put. But if it slides a little bit, maybe you want to fold this back piece over so it's not going to slide out. Okay, so this is just a little suggestion for you. You could do that. So now when we close this, you can put little message in here if you like. I don't know if there are any cute messages in here. And we really could put something in here. Maybe sparkle, maybe bloom. Maybe we can put this bloom in here. So let me cut this out. Okay, well, we can put this in here if that's what you like. Again, you can put different decoration. You can put anything you like in there. Okay. So now the only thing left is the little handle. So this is where we will use our chain. So this is the chain I have. It's a leftover from something. So let me see how long I want the handle to be. And I don't want it too long because this is more for decoration than anything. So I think I want it this long, which is about, it's close to 10 inches. So I am gonna open up this chain just so I can separate this. Okay. And now I'm gonna put this right through that ribbon and I will close it. Just like that. And I will do the same thing on the opposite side. So let me open this. All right. And I don't want the chain to be twisted. So I turn around and I'm gonna put it through the ribbon. I'm trying to capture the ribbon on the inside of that eyelet. And I will close this and close this pretty tight so the ribbon wouldn't sneak out on you. And we have our first handle. So now we said that's approximately 10 inches. So I'm gonna measure the other side. Let me open up this eyelet right here. It's running away. This is double one. So let me remove one. And this is second one. Okay. And got left in here. Okay. So now I turn this around and I do the same thing. I'm gonna put it through this ribbon opening to the other side, and we will close it as tightly as I can. And we do the same thing in here. I'm gonna remove one. And this one I will just open it. I want to make sure that this is not twisted. Oops. Okay, I don't want this twisted. So let me put this through. And now we're gonna put it again through the ribbon right here. And we will close this. All right. So now we have finished project. Because the way we created our handles, you really don't need any closure. If you like to, you can put little Velcro in here and on this side, but you really don't need to, because as soon as you pick it up, everything is closed and nothing is gonna fall out, because this will move only this way if you make this a little bit too loose. This is not falling out anywhere, and your pencils will not fall out. And everything else is glued. So I hope you like this project. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and I would really appreciate if you would do that for me. And I hope to see you soon in my next video.